Waraabon irraa bu'ee qeeransiin irra bahu bineensi bineensumaa tokkolleen waan naannahu nyaatamuun kiyyan oolu dheessuus waa duraan bahu humna too jabeeffadhee xiyya koo qopheeffadhee lachuutuuf irraa da'u. Wakiyas kabanyaan ani ore ani eeggachuudhaan waraaboo nyaachuu ture sanii firraa hambifnaan qabsoodhaan firraa mure kan dhiigatuutu dhufe qeeransaan natti dabre osoo tirrebaa jiru kanaas godaa ari'ee lammaffaana nyaachuudhaaf waraaboo lafaa ka'e taraan toogeesse jedhee.
Miidiyaa Qaanqee Wolabummaa Oromiyaa daawwattoota dhaggeeffattoota fi hordoftoota keenya aagaa nagayaa qorroo qabbana mishumaamii nageenyi badhaadhaa dansaa bayiidha kun sagalee Qaanqee Wolabummaa Oromiyaa qopheessaan sagantaa kanaa kan maqaan qabsoo isaa daadhii fayyisaa fi karoorsaa bosonaatti waamamu kan maqaan dhalootaa Amaan Kadiir Qaamsaree. Kasagantaa kana qindeessee suur sagaleen fooyyessee bareechee gara keessan dhiyeessu waa hilli kiyya Adam Jaalatu na waliin jira. Galmaa fi kaayoon hangafni sagantaa kanaa sammuu gabroomte walaboomsuu fi uummata Oromoo dammaqinsa sabboonummaa Oromummaa irratti ijaaruu fi hidhachiisuu aggaamna. Qophii kana keessatti dilbii afaan Oromoo keessaa qoshorree isin dhandhamsiisuuf ta'e. Bookaa shakasha sirna gadaa keessaa guddisnee isin soorra. Naanniga saayinsii siyaasaa waraantichaa politikoo militarii saayinsii keessaa waraabnee isin abdachiifna. Uummata sagalee isaa sirna abbaa irreetiin dhaamtee fi ukkaamamte sagalee ta'a. Nu jaalachiisa, nutti michooma, michuu nu hora, nu hordofaa, nu hordofsiisaa, eeqa ijaaraa, nu gabbisa. Kun miidiyaa Qaanqee Wolabummaa Oromiyaa. Itti dhiyaadhaa, ilteedhi, ofoola.
Dear my viewers and audiences, how are you doing? This is the voice of Oromia Independence. My name is Amaan Kadiir Qaamsaree. Adam Jaalatu Fardo, one of the most talented digital media experts Oromo and Oromia have ever produced, is on board at the backstage, working hard to facilitate this show. Today, I'm going to discuss about Qaanqee and Atete institutions. Firstly, I would like to shed light on historical background briefly, and before I embark on my discussion on the subject matter in depth. Historically, there are two contrasting or diametrically opposite categories of values, cultures, institutions, traditions, and ideologies, particularly in Oromia and generally in Africa. The first category I'm going to discuss is the indigenous category. Qaanqee and Atete institutions are part and parcel of one of the most enduring foundations of Oromo African civilization, the Gadaa system, as explored by Asmaroom Laggasa. Qaanqee is a straight wooden stick that symbolizes Oromo women's secular, political, and spiritual power. Qaanqee has two dimensions: secular political, which is symbolically represented by Haadha Qaanqee, and spiritual, Atete, Guye, Ayo, Ayole. These are diminutives that shows an intimate relationship between the Oromo women and Atete. Qaanqee and Atete have survived all odds of Abyssinian predatory cultural assimilation. In this, Qaanqee can be described as the most surviving homegrown establishment. Qaanqee does not only symbolize Oromo women's resistance against male supremacy, but also played a crucially important role in revamping and reconfiguring the Gada system itself. Qaanqee stands as an element of checks and balances in the system. Qaanqee strongly opposes the dishonesty of the crooked Gada authorities, which Oromo women call Bokku Qonyitti Hammarreessa, where Oromo women's right has been grossly violated. The second category is the exogenous category, which is the opposite of indigenous category. This category of exogenous institutions pertain to the establishments that invaded Oromia with the advent of colonial expansion and Abyssinian Amarization process, All other cultural values that have been imported fall under this category. In my life experience, I could be able to observe the mixture of Christian and Oromo traditional values in which Atete utilizes Mariam Jijo, Virgin Mary, as a mode of survival. I remember personally attending an Atete ritual that took place at one of the Mariam Jijo Galma in central Oromia, in a particular place, Qarree Qulanca, in Chalea district. The mode of existence was either by adaptation, by camouflage, or hybridization. Atete continued to exist in spite of the danger of a total eradication, sometimes as Virgin Mary and other times as Fatuma Nabi, the daughter of Prophet Muhammad. I proudly assert that Qaanqee and Atete have gallantly prevailed over the sustained attacks both from Abyssinian colonialism and Arab imperialism. Atete as an institution can be defined as a deity of fecundity. Atete turns sterility into fertility. Oromo attributes the female and the male characteristics to the Qallu, Atete female and Jari male. The fact that Atete is the goddess of fecundity doesn't imply that Atete contradicts the monotheistic nature of the Waka religious belief. In other words, Atete can be characterized as both propitiatory and conciliatory deity or messenger, an intermediary between Waka and Oromo men and women. Oromo attributes to Atete the power of intercession with Waka in favor of the weak Oromo mortals. According to Oromo Waka religious belief, Qallu and their Ayana are endowed with supernatural and superhuman and anthropomorphic. By anthropomorphic, I mean human qualities, as explicated by a known Swedish anthropologist by the name Carl Erik Knudsen. Thus, Atete is not a supernatural deity as in polytheistic beliefs. Atete ritual songs. I have two examples of Atete ritual song, which my mother, when I was a child, used to chant and venerate Guyye Atete. bariitee barraaqaa yaa guyyee haadha jaakaa tikseen tikaa yaate sooressi warraaqaa. And the second one, kophee xumuroo faana jalaa dobbaa lalawaa faana galaa awwaadhu guyyee meena jala. These are a piece of songs that my mother used to chant when venerating or praising Atete. She compares Atete with a shepherd that takes the cattle to the field in the morning and takes them back home in the evening. And also my mother compares Atete with a sandal. Metaphorically, Atete is compared with a shepherd. According to the songs of Ayo Madina Boshe, she is a working library of Atete Institution and Sinke Institution. I hope she is still alive. And also, in this, Atete has 3 complementary designations or variants. I would like to thank Ayo Madina Boshe and Obole Zamzam Mukhtar for providing me with this crucially significant information. Atete triadic Sadoye. Atete has 3 variants of designations according to the information I received from Ayo Madina. Atete, the Oromo women go down to rivers and refuse to come home until their legitimate demands are met. This is a type of Atete, riparian riverside Atete. Ganyan Amba Malkatti Bae is actually, this is the designation that shows Sinke or Atete is a typical African feminist organization. This is according to my interpretation. Atete Malka is a protest against the infringement of Oromo women when the husband mistreats a confined woman due to delivery. Kanafa, which means it is a symbol that shows a woman is confined and she gave birth to a child, results in a non-cooperation. Atete Malka is a total social declaration of defiance, a protest against a Boku Konyiti Amaresa, a crooked and maladministration, even if there is any, even in the Gada system. Finally, negotiation and reconciliation takes place. At the first, during the conflict, the women condemn the culprit. After resolution, they adore. The second variant of Atete is Atete Murma, exorcisation of malevolent spirit. Lolo is an evil spirit that causes disease, hunger, war, natural and man-made catastrophe will be completely driven out of its society. Lolo will be hunted, chased, and thrown into an abysmal depths from which it cannot rise again and come back. This is purely ritual and some symbolical undertaking. Atete Morma. The third type of Atete, the third variant is, this is directed against male chauvinism and mistreatment of women. It also includes women that refuses to cooperate during protest. This event does not encompass the whole system. Conclusion. It is imperative to recognize that Sinke and Atete institutions are one of the basement complexes on which the Gada system, Oromo democracy, is built. Without Sinke institution, Oromummaa is not complete. It is time to realize that Oromo study is suffering from the deficit of researchers in these institutions. It is time to wake up and contribute our share in this field. Good enough is not enough. We need to do more. We Oromos should end, finally, we Oromos should end the culture of copying foreign identities, ideologies, institutions, models, and romanticizing at the expense of ours. Thank you for your attention. See you again. Our technician maybe will invite you very interesting songs, especially related with Atete and Sinke. Thank you. See you again.